The new normal can be stressful, especially if you don't have a plan to deal with it. Well, in this lecture, we're going to look at a 3-step time management plan to help you manage the new normal in an empowered way. This is our Empowered Connections Part 5 of our series. Again, I'm your instructor, Louise and Maurice. Now, in Part 4, we discussed how these are unprecedented and challenging times for businesses and employees in every industry around the world. You were given a 5-step plan to discover new ways of thinking so that you can adapt to new ways of doing business. If you didn't get a chance to see that video, you want to click on just up here in the video, and yes, you'll be able to see that. Now, social intelligence, people skills. We've been moving through, we looked at self-awareness, social self-efficacy. Well, now we're on knowledge of social roles, rules, and scripts. Well, how does that connect with time management? Well, more than you know, and in our 3-step plan, I'm going to share with you why. Now, the months ahead will definitely test your ability to succeed in the new normal. So this 3-step plan that I've developed for you has free online tools to help you manage your time so that stress does not consume you. It will guide you to stay connected with yourself, your clients, colleagues, family, and friends at a time when it matters more than ever. Remember to go to louiseandmaurice.com in the free resources section to download the PDF document. You can follow along as I guide you. You're going to be able to look over my shoulder as we look at these 3 free resources. Are you ready? Let's continue. Before we start looking at these resources, just a disclaimer, I am not affiliated with them at all. I just want to provide you with these free tools that are going to help make your life easier and make sure that everything's at your fingertips. Now, at the time of this taping, which is May 2020, so 2020, these are free resources. And the first one we're going to look at is penzu.com, because step number 1 is to define your new normal social roles. You have to update your social roles because they have been impacted by the new normal, especially if you are staying at home, you've got children, and everyone is there in your family, and you are trying to get your work done, and you can't. So what's your role? All of a sudden now, if you are a mom or a dad, you now have all of these other roles that are not consistent with where you need to be. So with penzu.com, it's a free online journal that you can start to define your new normal social roles and how you see yourself within those new roles and how everyone else can respond to you in those new roles. Now, at louiseandmaurice.com, in the free resources section, that's where you're going to find the PDF that accompanies this, and it's Empowered Connections Part 5. And that's what you want to look for, because I have those questions that you want to write. Remember, you are doing this once for yourself so that you are familiar with this, and then if you are a coach or consultant, you're working with clients, you can use this with them as well. And that way you never forget to write. If something comes to mind, oh yes, that is something that I want to include now as my new normal role, my new normal social role. This is an opportunity. Yes, change has come to us, but it's an opportunity now for us to embrace this change so that it works with us and the vision that we have for our life. All right, let's look at step number 2 next. Now that you've defined your new social role, step 2 is to develop new normal rules to add more time to your day. And the free resource that we are looking at is Clockify.me, and it's an app, truly a free time tracker for teams. Now that's the thing, unless you live alone, you're in a family, you are a team, and you could use this with your work teams as well. If you don't have anyone else, then just use this for yourself. You are a team, and sometimes truly a team, because you have all of these competing interests that, oh, I just want to watch that television show. Oh, I just want to do this. Well, that's a part of your team that's pulling you away. So think of this as a way to look at the different responsibilities that you have and the ability to look at everyone on your team and say, okay, this is your responsibility, that's your responsibility, but this is where, how much time is it taking you? And even using this tracking tool as an opportunity to see how much time is being wasted. What happens with this new normal, especially if it becomes the new normal and you are at home for a longer period of time than you expected, then you have to be developing yourself professionally, developing in all of these areas. Yet sometimes it can be a little challenging to stay on task, and that's for everyone included, especially if you have children. They are not in school, they are working at home. So this might be a time management feature that you continue to use. The great thing about Clockify Me is the fact that it will sync with other free resources. And the next one is one we're going to look at for step number 3. So let's look at that next. Now that you have developed that new normal, the rules, the collaboration rules to add more time to your day, now it's about communicating those rules. And that's step number 3. You have to develop new normal communication scripts. And Trello.com is an opportunity for you to put that on a Trello board or a list or a card so that everyone in your household can access that. Everyone on your team can access that. Because the days of delegation are gone. And what happens with delegation is it brings up a lot of resistance because people don't like to be spoken down to or told what to do. We are coming into that time where people want to own their decisions and their choices. However, when you present it this way as a collaborative effort to get things done so that everyone can get the things done that they need to individually get done, but then also as a team get everything done that needs to get done. And again, Trello.com is free. There is also a paid, but just stick with the free. You don't know how everyone is going to respond to this, but if you've got teenagers or even tweens, they love this because they respond to this. This is how they've been growing up. So when you develop the tasks and you're adding more time to your day, this allows people to be communicated with in a collaborative way. And it really will ease the tension off you, especially if you're finding that your social roles are just packed. You don't have any more time to do anything else. This will definitely empower everyone to take responsibility, take ownership for what is truly theirs so that you can go about doing what you need to do. Again, always think of these as skill building tools. So if you've got a career and you've just lost your career and you're moving on to something else, these are skills that you are now learning to use. These 3 resources will allow you to show up in a different way. And the great thing about Trello is it syncs with Clockify Me. So go and check those out. Remember, if you've got any comments, you're leaving them in the comment section below. If you're on my Udemy course, if you've got questions about anything related to the course, make sure you go into the Q&A area. This is the announcement section. You don't want to add your questions to the announcement section. Make sure you go to the Q&A area. All right, we'll see you for our next session. Make sure you subscribe if you're not a subscriber.